20 years ago, I had the good fortune to be able to transition from a job for the sake of pay to a job for the sake of purpose. I started Heartland golf schools to find a better way for new golfers to learn to play and for experienced golfers to achieve the satisfying improvement they wanted. It's too often that golfers encounter golf instruction that is contradictory, confusing, or too difficult to implement. Golf instruction, the very thing that should generate enthusiasm, instead is too often a source of frustration. Working with golfers for over 2 decades has shown that the confusion around golf instruction can be replaced with clarity and common sense, resulting in golfers playing better. You can begin with a basic idea. A tool is any device that helps us apply force to move an object. A hammer applies force to a nail and moves the nail into the wood. A golf club applies force to the ball and sends it toward our target. People use tools every day. A comb, a key, a mop, a mouse. One of the first tools we learn to use is a spoon. Our parents put the spoon in our hand and then repeatedly guide the spoon to our mouth. The inevitable soon happens. We begin to feed ourselves. The phenomena of learning to use the spoon reveals an important consideration about people using tools. We learn to use them by observing how they perform their function. We observe someone using a broom, and soon we can sweep. Our cave-dwelling ancestors used tools, thousands of years before they had language. Explanation of how a tool is used can be helpful, but we learn from demonstration, observing how the tool works. Whether the tool be a hammer, or toothbrush, or screwdriver, scissors, shovel, scalpel, we learn to use the tool by observing it performing its function. Interestingly, this is how we learn to use every tool except one. And therefore, that tool is notorious for confounding its users. The tool is the golf club. Listen to 95% of golf lessons, and you will hear a litany of instructions describing how the shoulders should turn, the arms should extend, the hips should rotate, the knees should flex, the spine should tilt. So much description of how the body should move. And sadly, little or no demonstration of what the club should do. We learn by seeing the tool in action. Just imagine teaching a person to use scissors by explaining how the muscles and joints should work in the hand. The description of the body action is more confusing than constructive. What a person wants is a demonstration of the scissors performing their function. Here's how it works for us. Whether crowbar or can opener, we get an idea in our conscious mind of what we want the tool to do. In response to that idea, our subconscious mind uses its recollection of how the tool works to direct our muscles accordingly. Just consider the act of brushing your teeth. What you're very clear about is what you want the brush to do. Our brain is wired so that the intention to brush the teeth is all that is needed for the subconscious to then direct the body's actions. Here's another example of this conscious-subconscious partnership in our brain. Recall the last time you answered the phone and wanted to take down the caller's information. As you were carefully listening, your hand was busy writing. While you were listening, you are completely oblivious to the numerous muscular actions to move the pencil to shape the letters and the numbers. Our brain is wired for this conscious-subconscious partnership. In our conscious mind, we decide what we want to do, and our subconscious mind specializes in directing how the body will perform the task. When you type on a keyboard, you're conscious of what you want to type, but are unconscious about the muscular actions that cause your fingers to find the right keys. Imagine attempting to type an email by consciously directing your arms and hands and fingers to type the keys. You'd find it to be awkward, unnatural, and delivering poor results. This is the same awkward, unnatural motion that delivers poor results when we attempt to manage our body when we make a golf swing. Manage the tool, hammer, spoon, pencil. It's how we're wired and will improve. Manage the body, muscles, joints, body parts. It's not how we're wired, and our performance will forever be compromised. Thus, there are two approaches to golf instruction. Body-focused instruction, which teaches the player to direct various body parts in various ways, and club-focused instruction, which teaches the player how the club moves to produce an effective shot. As we've seen, body-focused instruction is contrary to how we've learned to use any other tool. It makes the body movements the priority of the golfer and the club's action subordinate to those movements. But it only makes sense that the club's actions are where we should put our priority. The club determines where the ball goes. The body movements should be in response to the club's function. Body-focused instruction is contrary to how we learn and use any other tool. You can think of it as teaching the golf swing backwards. For years, club manufacturers have employed robots to test their clubs. The robot can produce rifle straight shots, fades, draws, banana slices, and duck hooks. The robot has no shoulders, or hips, or knees, or wrists. This variety of ball flight is produced by variation in how the club was swung. It's a tragedy that so much golf instruction is body-focused when ball flight is exclusively the flight of the club. You can move all the body parts as you would thought to be correct, yet still produce a poor shot. Alternatively, move the club correctly, and you always produce the desired shot. Teaching the movements of the club is known as club-focused instruction. Club-focused instruction is not a new approach to teaching. It was discovered by golf professional Ernest Jones in 1916. His use of club-focused instruction resulted in many of the prominent tour players of the day being taught by him, and in a very successful career in New York as a teaching professional. As a result, he was inducted into the World Golf Teachers Hall of Fame. Jones shared club-focused instruction with 5-time Spanish national champion Angel de la Torre, who in turn taught it to his son Manuel de la Torre. Manuel thereafter became the leading expert in club-focused instruction, which fostered his successful competitive career of various championships and the coaching of a collection of winning tour players. His renowned teaching was recognized by his induction into both the World Golf Teachers Hall of Fame and the PGA Hall of Fame. As one of a cadre of instructors who attended Manuel's teaching seminars and made many pilgrimages to Milwaukee Country Club to have one-on-one time to learn from this master, I've had the great satisfaction of golfers' elation over the simplicity and effectiveness of our teachings. Manuel made it evident that a successful shot is produced when 3 things happen. The ball is struck by the center of the club face. The club face is square to the target line at impact. and the club is swung in the direction of the target. He made it simple so that the first two of these conditions are primarily accomplished at setup. Therefore, the player need only have the one objective during the swing: swing the club at the target. If poetry is the most succinct form of communication, club-focused instruction is the poetry of golf instruction. Club-focused instruction has proven itself over the span of 100 years for both amateur and professional. Today, researchers at universities are confirming its superiority in both learning the golf swing as well as further improvement of a player's swing. For many of us, golf is a very special game. It's an opportunity to enjoy the beauties of nature, the camaraderie of good friends, the great satisfaction of well-played shots, and a game where there are no teammates and winning occurs when you improve yourself. Being such a special game, Heartland is dedicated to instruction that new golfers will find easy to grasp, and together with veteran players, find enthusiasm in their certain improvement, resulting from club-focused instruction.